of Uganda's future. You are the standard of Uganda's future. What you are is what Uganda will be like. So if you go and stand for the voiceless, you know that Uganda will not have voiceless people because you're the standard of the future. And we are very, very humbled that we are with you here, though not in very interesting times, not in merry-making times, but in times when your plight has been forgotten. The environment that anybody is supposed to enjoy while getting into the academia is not what you are enjoying. You are stifled to achieve whatever took you there, and it is for that reason that the National Unity Platform, being a party of young people, a party of the promise of the new Uganda, a party with inclusivity, we found it imperative that we give you a platform, because we have seen the nasty ongoings everywhere. And so what is happening in Chambogo and all your other sister and brother students. So we do stand with you, and that's the purpose that we are here. This gathering is here to understand the plight of our government students in all, both government and tertiary institutions that have been forgotten by those that are responsible to cater for their welfare. They are in very deplorable states, and we want to thank you and your leadership and the party for giving them that platform. We thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, because we are bogged by time, we will have very few speakers, but I want to take special recognition of the leaders present. The one in charge of the young people, the Honorable Zake Francis Boteli, is with us. The most welcome. We do have Benjamin Katana, the party treasurer, is with us, and the former guild president. We are with the secretary general of the party, a former leader of the student union, guild speaker, Makerere University. Most welcome. I want to welcome Musiri, the one in charge of students. People power! Power power! People power! He's the head of institutions here. I want to also introduce the former guild president, Dr. Nambasa. You're most welcome. People power! Power power! Zake was also guild president. Yes, Zake was also guild president. So, without wasting any more time, allow me to invite Peter Banks. Peter Banks, is he here? Yes, Peter Banks, please come and give us an opening of whatever is happening there, and then we will invite Ainembabazi Doreen, the Minister of Government Students, to also put us in the loop.
Thank you so much. First and foremost, protocol observed, I'd like to thank God for this opportunity He has granted to me to stand in front of great men and women of valor, valiant Concordomen, the programmers, the great intelligence here of the high institute, Makerere University. Mr. President, sir, me standing here is not because of my love, but the hunger I have as a person. As a student of Makerere University, we are not happy with what is happening in Makerere University. We government students, we take nights reading books in high schools, coming to university expecting much, but you have received less than you expected. Mr. President, sir, I would like to thank you for hearing our cry. We, the hungry students of Makerere University, for what you have done. It's a great work what you have brought to us. I would like to take you through what we are supposed to receive as we government students. As the freshers, those are people who have just joined campus, the young ones, they are supposed to receive 799,900 shillings. But then, people who are sleeping inside the halls, College of University, we have UH, we have Mitchell, we have Nkrumah and Sibira, we have Africa, we have Lumumba, we have Mary Stewart. Yes, whatever it is. People who are sleeping inside, the freshers received 92,000. It was 92 hours, received 92,000. Those are the freshers. Then the continuing students who are sleeping inside the school received 32, not 320,000. So, Mr. President, sir, come to people who are sleeping outside the halls. People received less money that cannot even accommodate them to pay the rent to the halls, the hostels they are supposed to sleep in. They are sleeping there, but they have nothing to eat. Because also received 450,000 that they are paying for rent, 350,000. Now the service is earning to that, but money has not been added to us. So you feel that somebody is going to the roads. We have the guy called Matene. He's taking our things. We have put our laptops there so that we can get food to survive. My laptop was taken because I had nothing to eat. I had to give my lady the loan. So my security to give me the money. I expect the money the next month as they expected, as they promised us. But didn't receive the money. All my shoes have been taken. I took my shoes to my guy in UH. So that I give him money I can get because I was demanding me. But why all that? Because of the government we are having in university. They don't caring about us, they're caring on themselves. The first week we went to the Senate to negotiate with the RD or to negotiate with the pastor. We ended up negotiating with the officers. All I wanted that the officers, all the staff members of Makerere University. Not really. But we ended up negotiating with the officers. And again, we didn't get a chance of seeing the pastor, no the D, or the Nawangwe, the VC. Why are they hiding? What are they doing is very true. So, all know this, but we are unhappy of what is taking place in our university. And Mr. President, sir, I thank you for the great work you've done. Me personally, I like you so much. My nigga, I like you, boy. You get it? So, because of hunger, even yesterday, Otule stand up. My brother, that senior comrade is about me supper yesterday. I had no supper. Is that not for me? So you end up being a burden to senior comrades, which is bad as a government student. We worked hard, we slept, we had studying so that I can reach at the highest skill of integrity. But what is there? They are doing a disservice, hunger. We are many, we over 5,000 people, but because of papers and fixed schedules, 5,000. We are over. You should also support us. We are requesting for your donations. In whatever hand you pass through, as long as you reach a guarantee Makerere. A guarantee common Makerere in the university. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Let us have the former minister, right? A minister in government. The current government. Sorry. She's the minister in charge. They are the people in power. Where is their money?
Praise God. Our President, the Secretary General, good afternoon to all of us who are here. I'm called Doreen Ainembawaz, and I'm serving as the current Minister for Production, Employment, Environment and Estates at Makerere University. I'm here to put out a cry to the government students. Members, we are hungry. We are very hungry. So ladies and gentlemen, as I was saying, we Makerere students, we are very hungry. And I want to say that we've been pushed onto the wall since the semester began. We have been adequately given onto our allowances. This is not really working onto us, the government students. Now, this cry that we are putting out, we are calling upon organizations there, people there, to come and hear out our cry. I want to take this opportunity to thank Mr. President for hearing out our cry. We don't take it for granted. Not all have been given the opportunity. Yeah, I want to go back into the statistics of how much we've been receiving since the semester began for those students that stay inside or outside. But I want to say that we need your help, and we call upon the government to do its best to put out our grievances. And thank you for hearing us. Thank you for providing to us. We are very grateful.
All those words are of a minister in Makerere University. So it means that that is how truthful it is. The students of Makerere are angry and angered for not fulfilling the obligations of government. But don't you worry, I know it might be after you have left, but we are sure in the government of the National Unity Platform, things will always be moving in the trajectory that we desire, all of us. Let me invite, come and say something, Doctor.
Mr. President, the Secretary General, our leaders and students, good afternoon to you all. I understand you're very hungry and I'm not going to take a lot of your time. People power! People power! Makerere! Makerere! Ladies and gentlemen, I stand before you as a former guild president of the Ivory Tower, the magnificent Makerere University. And I'm not new to the challenges that you expressed today. I was personally a government student. So I have gone through such times, and I want to tell you that there is a time we even striked at night because our recess allowances had not come through. So you're not the first, but I just hope that maybe you're the last. I want to remind you that during the time of the bad Idi Amin, all students that went to Makerere studied for free. They didn't pay money. They were given food. They were given allowances. They were given books in the library. But during the good times of the current regime, that is compared to the regime of the Amins, we have what we have here today. Am I communicating? Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to assure you that we are with you. We support you as former leaders. We stand with you. We understand your cry, and I want to in a special way to appreciate our party for coming through to help the distressed Makerere students. Because having to read, having to use your brain, I think the brain uses the most amount of glucose, but I really wonder if you're really passing those tests. I really wonder if you're, please let us remain in line. And I know that we are very hungry, and I want to send out a message to the people that are in charge. If someone is expected to receive 700 plus thousand or 500 something, why would you give them 92,000? There is a belief that the office in charge could be using that money maybe to first make something, then they will give you the profits. And we know these things, we know these things, we know who is in charge of these things. You know the boss's office, and we support you. That money is there. They have the money. If they can give musicians billions of money, why shouldn't they give the future of this country the money that they deserve to give? Ladies and gentlemen, we are with you. We support you. Please continue to fight. Do not stop fighting. We have been threatened. I know that the DPC called some of you this morning, and that's why you're not here. But wherever you are, we stand with you. Mr. DPC, these are your children that you want to survive on hungry stomachs, yet they studied to make it to the university on government scholarship. and they were promised things. We have a contractual agreement with the people that admitted you to the university. They're supposed to provide these things for you. So we stand with you, we support you, continue to fight. The little support that is provided here, I do believe that it can do something, but do not relent. Continue to fight, your money is there, someone is sitting on it, and the more you press, they are going to release that money. People power, our power. Thank you very much.
Indeed, you are a true friend. You have it on your fingertips. Let us invite, I think these three can come at once. Mr. Otuke Isaac, our NUP. Otule. Yes, Mr. Otule. Mr. Wandukwa Simon, and then Mr. Churchill. Just he will be the highlight.
Makerere, Makerere, Enupo, People Power, Echaguranyo, Food, Winning, Losing Z, Hunger Z, Administration Z. Hello. The president, the legitimate president of Uganda, our dear Secretary General, the party leadership, student leaders, and everyone around, we welcome you to this place. But before I take this great opportunity, as one of the leaders of the NUP interim chapter, to thank our dear president for having listened to our cry. The day we came here to write, very many students were crying in Makerere University over hunger. We had nothing to do. We helped those we could, but we couldn't help everyone. We wrote to the president, he welcomed us, we talked to him, and he said he will give some help to the few, and that's what he has done. Mr. President, I'm here to inform you that back in the days, being on government was a pleasure. It was something that everyone wished to be. But today, to the current students of Makerere, it has become a disgrace. If they're on government, they don't give them their allowances. Even parents are well convinced that the government is giving them money, so they don't give them upkeep. Today as I speak, people are starving. But I want to assure Mr. President, this is very unfortunate. We don't wish to see our fellow students starving today. We don't wish to see them committing suicide, because when you add anger to examination stress, it equals to death. And yet we are going for our examinations. Mr. President, the day we left here, the DPS of Wandegea, Afande Hassan, called all the Mugosa leaders who came here. He told them, we are going to arrest you, we are going to suspend you. And very many of them got intimidated. He just said that because they're mobilizing for people to come and get food. But I want to assure you, Mr. DPC, we are ready to die of bullets, but we shall not die of hunger. Back to my fellow students. These are the times that we need to stand as the youths of this country. These are the times that we need to know that everything concerns us. When we had the fees policy, some government students were like, I don't pay tuition, the government pays for me. They shied away. Today we're on government, today she's on the government side. Very many private students are like, it's not about me. But I want to assure you, everyone will test on the pain, on the tears of this government. I want to assure you, this is the time that we need to stand, that we need to revive the Makerere that existed, that when one student missed an examination, all the rest never did that examination. But I want to assure you, even me speaking, I missed an examination over tuition. Just because we have lost it. Where have we gone wrong? Why don't we have those solid leaders, the current aspirants? Where did the Makerere leadership go? Where did the revolutionaries go? Where did the series of today? It's time that...
Hello. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Wandukwa Simon. I am a third-year law student and removed food from halls of residence amidst the strong opposition from the Education Committee of Parliament, and they scrapped off that privilege of food. And from that time, students are dying in their small rooms in Chukumi, and in halls of residence. Students are surviving on cassava and water, and yet they're supposed to be in classes, concentrated and reading. The Nawangwe administration and its policies do not have any empathy on students. All they want is to reduce a university to a go to class and back to your room kind of thing. This is a university, for God's sake. We have had many times when this university comes out to shut down students whenever they have genuine concerns. When the former guild president, Nambasa, was president, she led a team of students to strike for their rights. And I want to tell you, gallant Makererians here, that whereas the NUP, the National Unity Platform here, has given us food in the form of rice and posho, I want to implore you, I am not part of those that are going to keep lamenting on several other organizations calling out for food. I want to call upon you, let us get back. Suspend you alone. Everyone keeps quiet. When Bosa Price was suspended alone, everyone kept quiet. You know, when I was suspended with a group of few others like Odama there, the rest of you kept quiet. But when Nambasa was suspended with a group of 15, all of them were restated. Now, Nawangwe does not have capacity to suspend all of you in thousands. For God's sake, you are over 5,000 government students. And I want to call upon you that as we are here lamenting about the food problem and challenge in Makerere University, I know we have done our part as government students. We have always come out on the street to raise our voices, but there are more problems concerning government students. Recently, they have cut the number of government students from over 5,000 to 3,000. There was a policy that was passed on the floor of Parliament to increase the allowances from 4,500 to 10,000. It was still cut down by the cabinet of Mr. Museveni. Now, these are things we're talking about and a reality in this country. When we talk about these things, many of you think we're politicizing, but the challenges of government students is real. Get back on streets, put on your red gowns whenever you're oppressed, and demand for your rights. Thank you very much. Makerere road. Makerere road. The fighting goal. The fighting goal. Intimidation is Z. Intimidation is Z. And I want to see. Ra. Cha. Hello. People power. Our power. We. I say you. Pathetic leaders, esse pathetic government, okuchiko, administration Z, losing Z, hunger Z, starving Z, winning goal. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the Republic of Uganda, the Secretary General of the ruling political party, Mr. Tojara, Minister in charge of Youth Affairs, all esteemed leaders present, guys, Makererians, a good afternoon to you all. My name is Senator Muchachil James, a son of the land. I would like to join you to present our plea to the President. Mr. President, sir, this is just a preamble of the pain and hunger inside the great walls of Makerere. Many students were intimidated from coming, many were demoralized, many were intimidated about suspensions and all what's not. However, in the Duran, ladies and gentlemen, you that are here, I do representation of those that have decided to stand with what you believe is right. The DPC made few calls yesterday. I, for one, received the call. I was told not to indulge myself in things that do not concern me, but I strongly believe I and Makerere students are as one. Whether or not a government student, what affects a girl Makerere affects us as one. We are here in unison and in unison to extend our cry to you, the President of the National Unity Platform, and to other donors. We are very much aware that a bigger population of people would have been here if it weren't for certain circumstances. Ladies and gentlemen, we have had a history of draconian policies being instigated by the current administration. And Mr. President normally said, a great writer once said that every generation has its mission, and it is upon that generation to betray or fulfill that mission. Guys, Makererians, we have a mission to see that these draconian policies come to an end. You do not need a leader. You don't need a leader to show you direction. However, it is self-instigated. It is self-propagated. I strongly believe you that are here is a true representation of what you believe in. And if you really have to stand for the truth, you better be ready to stand alone. I would like to conclude by saying that the greatest question of the day shall not be answered by the speeches of the nobles, but by blood and iron. Let's get that blood and iron out. Let's go there and let's fight to us right the iron.
You know, when somebody quotes Otto von Bismarck at this time, I'm encouraged and inspired. Thank you very much, Churchill. You've made my day. You have spoken, and I am grateful that you got the time, Churchill. Thank you. They took the time. Musiri.
Thank you, Deputy Spokesperson, the mighty party, National Unity Platform, Mr. President, the Revolutionary President, His Excellency Robert Sentamu Chagulani, aka Bobi Y. I like saying that out. Secretary General and former Speaker, Makerere University, and former President of Law Society at Makerere. My brother, I call him my brother because I love him so much, Benjamin Katana. He is so much, he loves the institutions, the students at large, and he's our treasurer. Thank you so much. Zake Zevuge, our Commissioner of Parliament. You know you are the Commissioner, the legitimate one. Yes, I mean it, that's why I assert it assertively. Madam President, you know, once a president at Makerere, you die a president, you know that. Nambasa, Shamim Nambasa, and the gallant comrades. First of all, it is not about only government students from Makerere University alone, Mr. President. We have the representation of government students from Chambogo University. Please stand up and the President sees you around. People power! Our power! Our power! People power! He's alone because right now as we speak, government students of Chambogo University have an industrial action. They are currently striking, they are on the streets. Therefore, those of us that are here, it's just as late as yesterday. as Churchill and colleagues have said, please get out your gowns, iron them, and you know how we do it. You know the practice, you know the culture of Makerere University. Mr. President, I just want to remind these young men, because of time, about our times. You know, you sang some nice song. Of course, all your songs are nice. The lyrics are nice. But you said that people want to go to heaven, but they don't want to die. I don't know whether people think about them. Think about the lyrics, apart from just dancing themselves around the lyrics. Therefore, I want to implore young men of the Hill currently that some of us were suspended, not even once, not even twice, but we still stayed firm and we stood firm. I want to tell you that I was suspended 4 times. I won a scholarship from the Chinese embassy. It was scrapped off during the Christmas fall that I led with colleagues. Mr. President, when impasses like now come, when people are hungry, they forget that they have a duty to fight. I want to thank you, Mr. President. The day we came to Makerere, you named me after a giant on the continent Africa called Stephen Biko Bantu. It was yesterday that you called me the same name. And by calling me Stephen Biko, I knew it was His Excellency Robert Sentamu Kyagulanyi calling. No other. We shall not go into the details of how and what happened on Stephen Biko Bantu. But that's why I want to implore you young men. I want to guide you that scholarship you was shivering around, saying I can't lose it. I can't do what is best. I can't do my duty. It's nothing. I want to tell you that I have colleagues that have gotten first-class degrees but rotting in the villages because of unemployment. I am telling you that you students, you must know your role, that you are the catalyst of change in the revolution. I want to thank those of you that have come out. Amidst the intimidation, well, you are not even intimidated. Mr. President, the man they are talking about, Makerere, who is lending money to your students, our brothers and sisters, is a former emperor of Lumumba. But as we speak now, he's also a coward. He used to stand, but now he's a coward and is being used. We do not know his sources. And I want to tell you, Mr. President, that these people have not yet faced the wrath of the management. But when we stood firm with those of Obediju, both Darmel, at one time, Professor Barnabas Nawangu was a coward to us. That every day we would stand, he would be on the next plane to Russia. Can't you be like us? I want to remind you, I wasn't acting in any capacity. I was only the class rep of my course that was about to be even scrapped off. Just a class rep intimidating a vice chancellor. At one time, we got them in the main building. They started urinating. Vice professors, because these are not professors, these are mafias, acting on behalf of the tyranny to squeeze you, because they know if you stand and just do what you're supposed to do, you can change this government, you are the only way, I mean you students, for our president, His Excellency, Robert Sekamu Chaplain, to become the next president. Because he's a legitimate president that we voted in 2021. Who doesn't know that? But because we were sleeping on job, that's why he's not in the State House. Can you rise up? It's beyond just government students. Because I can tell you, I can tell you that all our institutions are under attack. They are all under siege. We have seen a lot of draconian policies everywhere. And Mr. President, lastly, this is how they compromise these students. While we were fighting and struggling in Fismas Fall, during the draconian policy that necessitates the 15% tuition increment for graduate 5 years, some of the leaders were compromised by just, now one can go to the climax, to the extreme of just bribing a student by getting what they want. There is one friend of ours who said he wanted to sleep with a white woman. I am telling you, Professor now Barnabas Nawanga got a white woman for that guy. There are those that were compromised for just on the bed space, and you know them. But when we stood, for example, Papa Were, we taught him a lesson. We taught him a lesson. Can you stand up? Gallant Makerere, gallant combatants of Makerere, can you stand up and teach somebody a lesson? It is time now or never for God and my country.
Thank you, Steve Biko of Uganda. That was powerful. Comrade Bike.
People power, our power, Makerere. I know you're hungry, so I will not take a lot of time. Gallant but hungry intellectuals. This is a sweet but bitter moment. Sweet in a sense that we get share in friendship and comradeship, but bitter that you're hungry. And your hunger is not on account of government's inability to take care of you, but because you are not a priority of government. Every day you see headlines of billions of money given away because the priority of the rich. If you want to build the country, you invest in building the future. How do you invest in building for the future? You know the motto of Makerere, build for the future, by prioritizing education. But because education is not a priority, because we are not dealing with statesmen who are interested in the future, but we are dealing with people that are interested in regime survival, the money that should have fed you, because it is your right, because you fulfilled your side of the bargain and excelled in exams, that money is used by the regime of Museveni to rent support. And if someone does not treat you as a priority, then you should also not treat them as what? As a priority. Every day we see ridiculous statements coming from Makerere University suspending students. But you know what that means? It means that Nawangwe and the administration have chosen to be agents of oppression. But the bigger problem is not the agents, but the master of the agents, who is oppression personified, Museveni. Where there is his name, you can replace it with oppression. And oppression, wherever it exists, the only medicine for oppression is resistance. But if you listen to intimidation from a mere DPC, you listen to intimidation from Nawangwe and others that work with him, you are enabling him to perform his job of being an agent of oppression effectively. You are empowering him. The only way you can stop that oppression is by standing up to be counted. Your hunger has a relationship with the person who is now dying in hospital because there is no medicine and the doctor has not been paid to perform their duty. When a regime loses legitimacy, it now concentrates on two things: violence and buying support. So the money that should have taken care of you, the money that should have worked in the hospitals, the money that should have enabled your parents to access medical care, that should have enabled roads to be worked on, is being used by Museveni to facilitate his political machinery. So from today you should know that your enemy, the reason why you're hungry, the reason why the side of government has not been fulfilled is not because of Nawangwe. Nawangwe is just an agent of an oppressive and parasitic system of Museveni, which you must stand up and fight. Thank you very much.
The Secretary General. Temuyina manyi wanange, and understandably so. People power. Our power. People power. Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. President and fellow leaders. The words of Comrade Otule, that injustice against one is injustice against all. And he clearly said that when it came to private students, government students said this does not concern us. Today it is government students and private students are saying this does not concern us. When Makerere is being oppressed, Chambogo says this is not about Chambogo. When Chambogo is being oppressed, Makerere does not speak out. But we eventually realize that we are all caught up in this web of injustice in this our country. I was listening to your leaders the other day and they told me that some female students have been forced to go into what? Because they are hungry and they are starving. How can Makerere students be allowed to go? This one is calling them sleepovers, but they are not really sleepovers. It is terrible. So we must all rise up and resist injustice and impunity. Like my brother Benjamin said, all that is happening is not because the government does not have money. They have more than necessary, but you people are not a priority to them. And yet we are singing that we build for the future, the great Makerere. How can you build for the future when students are hungry and they are starving? And when they rise up to speak, I saw this comrade from Chambogo the other day being picked up like grasshoppers. Right now as you are coming in, I saw police guys here trying to stop you. And the DPC saying you should not come to Kavule because Kavule is going to give you food. I even saw some propaganda which they had put out there to say that NUP has cancelled this event. That we needed permission from police, we did not get it, therefore the event has been cancelled because they're trying to frustrate you in that regard. So, ladies and gentlemen, we need to understand what is going on in this country. For us as a national unity platform, we believe in investing in the future of our country. That is why our main priority is healthcare and education. And I can tell you, the day our president sits in that state house, which legitimately would belong to him even right now, the things we are going to focus on, most importantly, are education and healthcare. Why? Because if you invest in the people, you are investing in the future of your country. That is what we believe in. That is what we believe in as the National Unity Platform. It is very unfortunate. I even saw a headline the other day. They were saying that very soon they are going to scrap government scholarship. Instead of increasing, they are just trying to reduce. And that is what they want to do. They want to scrap government scholarship. And what will happen to that money, you know what has been going on. We lose over 10 trillion shillings in corruption every single year. Other countries are even having free university education for all students. But here, even the few who are on government scholarship, they are not giving you allowances on time, and they are even contemplating removing all that. So, I think the most important call today is rise up and defend your rights. Rise up and fight for a better country. Someone was even telling me yesterday that some government students, the little money you get, you send some of it at home. Because your parents are what? Are poor.
So you can see that the problem is not only is going to send me some money and I take the siblings of this one to school. So stop looking at this as your own problem. Look at it as a national problem and let us fight to resolve it. Without wasting any other time, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to allow you to allow me again to invite the President to speak to us. Thank you very much. Thank you. Students say, ancestors say. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Please enjoy my seat. Now, gallant Makererians, hungry. Today I'm going to be brief. I wanted the world to listen to you, not to me. Me, I graduated from Makerere 21 years ago. So it is you guys that know the Makerere of today. When I was Makerere, when I was in Livingstone, when I was in Makerere, we would eat. Actually, every Thursday we would look forward to some chikoko. Those days, Makerere was the aspiration of every student, every child. We would burn the midnight candle to make sure we reach Makerere. And every time a child reached Makerere, the parents were relieved. Unfortunately, all that glory has been eroded over time. When I was listening to us singing the university anthem, you know me, I pay attention to the lyrics. I would hear from east to west, from north to the south, all voices singing, "Arise, Makerere." But does that still reflect? Does that still make sense? Arise, Makerere. Don't forget, through the years, those that have walked through the great gates of Makerere. Are the gates still great? Is Makerere still great? I was very well represented by the people that have spoken, especially your leadership. Your former guild president put it very straight, and I cannot add so much useful stuff to that. However, like Comrade Katana said, all institutions are being eroded slowly but surely. What's painful is that what is meant to build for the future is actually clearly destroying the future. Imagine the children in primary school that are going for their PLE, those that are going for or are doing their UCE exams, those that are sitting their senior 6. You think they dream of coming to Makerere, the greatest university in Uganda? No. Because, look at the government students. Back then we would brag being government students. It meant a lot. People would fear me because I was a government student. They don't fear you anymore. Why? Because of what the regime has reduced you to. This is not an issue of the enablers. It is not an issue of the students that sell you out. As a matter of fact, it is not an issue of Nawangwe. That's the original planner of all this. And that is General 7. And if the guy was gone by now, he would not be here. So, friends, you are on your own. We all are on our own. And therefore, each one of you, each one of us must play a role in the transformation of this country. Everywhere it is dead because that's how they want it to be. They want to reduce you to beggars.
But most importantly, they want to beat you down psychologically, to make you believe that you don't deserve anything. You are the first line of intellectualism in Uganda. But look at you, look at how you're being treated. They're forcing you to believe that you don't matter in this country. And I beseech you, don't accept that nonsense because you matter. Back in the day, how could a DPC in my days call a student of Makerere and tell them not to exercise their right? In my generation, you tell us that nonsense. It's like in my generation, all of us were Mosiris. All of us were Nambasas. And I request you to emulate these leaders. Dictatorial governments only listen to pressure. And that brings me to why we invited you here. We were in Kisoro yesterday, but we knew that we had to meet you today. So what we are doing today is only a symbolic gesture of solidarity with you, to share a meal with you, but most importantly, to provoke those that are supposed to be fulfilling this responsibility and they are absconding on it. So with this gesture, I want to challenge the administration of Makerere and indeed to warn you that these students that don't have to eat, when push comes to shove, they are going to eat you. So better do what you have to do now. To you friends, if you don't stand up, nobody is going to see you. If you don't speak up, nobody is going to hear you. Such governments work on pressure. And we hope this gesture, number one, incites others. Because you guys are our children, you are our friends, but most importantly, you are our hope. So I encourage all thoughtful Ugandans to come to your aid. Hunger is not like rent. Rent can wait. Hunger, you cannot hide from it. Some of us have skills in hiding from landlords. But you cannot hide from your own stomach. So this is to remind those that are responsible and to provoke them and to warn them. With those few words, ladies and gentlemen, I want to encourage you to pressure those that are supposed to do things so that they can do what they are mandated to do. I thank you and I encourage you to stand firm, to resist. This is oppression, and like Bika said, you can replace oppression with Museveni. Rise up and demand for what's rightfully yours, because if you don't, then even the most basic of your rights, you will lose them. When you pressure them, they will do what they have to do, and everybody will be happy. Thank you very much for God and my country.
People power, our power. I definitely don't want to be
bya luzungu lero. Bya luzungu banani. Lero luzungu abo mawulire g'Oluganda mugaze mu Luganda nga munnyonnyola byayogedde mu luzungu. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We will not take questions. We will interact with you. We will now take the next step of the luncheon. A luncheon, there is a registration table there with Alan, so you work it out. If you come and tell me here, I will not give you a chance because the president has spoken. So we are going to give you the modalities. Don't move as yet. We will give the direction on how we go because we have certain things that you're going to receive. Mr. President, Mr. President, Mr. President, that man has very inspiring words. He really wanted me to give him a chance to say something, but this is what he has for you. He asks you to keep time when you have events, and there is a student who has passed on in Chambogo because of anger. A young girl has passed on because of anger, and let us all stand up in recognition of that lost soul. Let's stand up for recognition of that lost soul. That is what it means. It's not victory. We are not here for games. People are dying, and they are dying of lack of food in the 21st century. May her soul rest in eternal peace. Thank you. You can have your seats. We will have the other. We are getting. So those of you who have registered, you will do lines here. Alan, let's be here on the lines. Let the people begin from here. We will have the lines, students of Makerere only here. Those who are government students and have registered, come here like this. You will pass here, get whatever you get, and then you will have the name. Make sure the person in front of you is from Makerere. Feel very proud to know that. Make sure it is a government student and it is a student. Okay?
Not follow official photograph.
Okay.
Bano baveewo wane.
Ali mukobwa w'Amerika baana ba university abaana b'enjala ebikira Abaana badde njala ebatta.
Special charge, your sister.
Semereni.
Hello, sister.
Let's first have a picture here.
Kujichwalata nawe.
Kativali.
Okay, kama chukue
Cut fresh please.
Okay, let's have
Bobi wine ino mutima mu Bobi wine mukopi mbutagawa mbumukodo omuntu bagambe kitoleke ki mwe mwe musajja oyo gyatujje mutuleke mbutagawa mukopi gunyoko abantu mwe temanyi musajja oyo kyategeeza ggwanga lino era nze mbasaasira. Abaana b'e Makerere enjala ebadde batubala bakasimayiro basanyufu tulina obuzibu mu ggwanga lye bali kulembera tebaasoma. Minisita wa education
Ministry namba esobola okubalirira abaana basomero naye excellence namba kikyakuleesetamu abaana abadduukiridde ekyokulya abaana
wandiika linnya lye bwe Minister of Education
badde
nze namugambye bonna basinga bitabo famire yonna bagigatta nga tewali ansinga
eno gavumenti twabadde gavumenti ya National Unity Platform ndalamu
wasanga kudamadada ku peji yange mu Nelson wammwe.
Before you have lunch with the president,
so abasinga jjukira bateesateeseddwa abasinga nabali wanasooka abalayini gyekumaka
tuli Makerere Kavule omulungi andaba akaseera kano tuli Makerere Kavule nga ba student ba university b'e Makerere nga His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu abadduukiridde n'abawa emmere abaana badde bafa enjala. Kyoyogedde kituufu nti kati abo bagenda kunyiiga. Kyoyogedde kituufu nti kati bagenda kunyiiga. Webale nnyo mu baganda baffe abaliko akaseera kano bonna abeekomeddeko era nga nyongera okutumira ku babaka bano okuli Honorable Isaac Tomusango w'Emityana North. Webale nnyo webalire ddala okubeerako Honorable Namugagoleti ow'Emawogola webale kubeerako Honorable Namugagoleti ow'Emawogola webale kubeerako. Anga nyongera okutumira ku bantu bano amanga Honorable Nakato Shakira ow'Ebukoma Nsimbi Honorable Nakato Shakira ow'Ebukoma Nsimbi webale nnyo webale kubeerako Honorable Nakato Shakira. bafunjala nga His Excellency n'abaddukirira n'agamba waayo abaana bafunjala naddukirire kano akatono erikubo baliveemu babayitaawo abwekyo omulungi aliko webale nnyo okubeerako yongera okutumira ku bantu bano wammanga Honorable Isaac Tomusange Mitana North, Honorable Nakato Shakira oyo omukyala Honorable Nakato Shakira gwendi mu bagamba yagenda okubajjirayo omukyala gwe bayita Veronica Nannyondo Veronica eyabalyamu olukwe abantu b'e Bukomansimbi Honorable Nakato Shakira ajja mumulabiranga ddala agenda bajjirayo omukyala oyo akyusiza bukyusa kuba yaliko LC5 bwe yalabye nga abantu b'e Bukomansimbi gwe mwatuma yabalyamu olukwe n'agamba yabalyamu olukwe kati waba yabalyamu olukwe kati kanzije nze mbe nga sijja balyamu olukwe Honorable Nakato Shakira ow'e Bukomansimbi ajja mumulabiranga ddala abantu b'e Bukomansimbi Musomesa nzaliwa okuwanga okuweereza amanya n'eddoboozi kitondadde musomesa nzaliwa okuwanga okuweereza ng'omulungi atulaba akaseera kano omulungi atulaba kyambadde musomesa nzaliwa okuwanga okuweereza era nga bwekirikira boona okusabusikaidinga abaana abadde bafa enjala naye His Excellency abadduukiridde nagamba buli omu agendeyoko n'akasawo kakawunga n'ak'omuceere bwekyo embeera bweri omulungi endaba akaseera kano Honorable Namugagoleti webale kubeerako nkulengeddeko omulungi abaddeko akaseera kano eyekomidde ku legiative bwetyo embeera nga His Excellency adduukiridde abaana ba University abaana b'e Makerere akawunga bambi enjala ebadde ebatta nga bwetyo embeera kuli omulungi alimuko okulaba bwetyo embeera bweri. Yes, abamu babakanze bagamba tebajja kusobola naye abasobodde ne bajja. mwebale nnyo abaliko abeekomidde ku Lukiririro TV embeera bwetyo embeera bweri gumu abali ku Ghetto TV mwebale nnyo mwebale.
You're a university student. Why do we have so much confusion here? I don't want
Gwe mbaveeko kwata kamera tufune ku space.
One soda, water. Water, soda. Water, soda.
water soda. You don't eat beef. Soda in a big piece. That's it. My advance back. And you have the daughter of Emere mbawe nyingi. Mujja kudda bannange emmere gyeriri abo taddimu. Mubawe emmere nyingi. Akatereko temufaayo. Mukyali kateze. Twalidde. Mutambule ngaba mmere. Kampwe yaki. Waliwo abali mukunjala muwedde muno ngene Makerere mustavinge mugeto kujabawo ekyokulya wasoma ddanga wavaayo ddayo some mustavinge nawe akustavingisa ekyokubwa enjulu ku national platform musobodde nakyo twadde kisolo so president yamuisira bubizi President yakwatidde mu nyama agamba abantu babiri singa misiga namani musuubuzi nzije kuba nfe enjala this is our generational leader wallahi eri ddala break out fit kamalayo mumalisi starvation in Makerere is taking place. Stop starvation.
Oyagera yawo musama va mwene yope sisagala kumaca kubeera finito sisobola kubeera finito afa sisobola kera kumaca va mwene yope siri finito afa finito walaba binava finito afa bwalaba bino so mukulembeze ajja okuyigamu n'abantu kuwagala ensi kubanga tufuga muyeekera omwana wamunenga mulale kubanga tufuga mulale so enkwenga yetwetaganga buli muntu ngaakwetyo embeera munakyali akaseera abakulembera temumanyi embeera bwetyo bweri atulamu ali ku Geto TV webali kubeerako ekikyoli mukulaba nakwata mu kijanjalo saabogezi nakwata ku byokunywa ebyokunywa ebyokunywa ebibulawo saabogezi agamba abaana bayizi tugabula abayizi mutuleke so ndibaza bwebaza thank you so much okubeera nga mubeera ku sama Uganda Media tugagadde ndibaza bwebaza thank you so much tubeera ku mukutu tugagadde ku sama Uganda finito afa finito awulira afa bwalaba bino banange mwe balina mumwena abagala sama Uganda ampoyisima tumusange Angre Makererian ankoyisima ogenda kupasingeri okwe Soda water. Sure. Thank you so much. Uncle Simawa, Simani Wakwa, Masaju, Vanamwe, Osonga Yakata, Machawa, Villain, Wakwera Kanata, and I'm one of the so, never say was Avanae, Muevalino, Ubeda, so, the top 10 channels to a wire of power as a mobile invada. Kamure, Kamushayini, Zembera, Zembera, Wanga, Baweza. So, I'm not going to tell you, I know what a mama has in Korea Mologia. So mwana abali wano okwete mama ganzi mukoleketa mu lujamba sasete nnyo bannaye wano mubanga emmemme yonna fo tosala mubanga emmemme yonna fo tosala kino kitebe ky'obumanya obeera ng'olimu finito ng'omalayo kino kyo kya solid one love
finito afa yesu omunongi aliko webale kubeerako era twatandise nti odakumuli bali muturabako Geto TV mwebale nnyo nenyongera okwebaza Honorable Namugagolit Honorable Namugagolit kimwerabira eggulu twabadde kisolo ate nga leero tulina okuba nga tubatuukako omulabalaba sitayiro eggulu twabadde kisolo naye ate kati mutulaba twakomyewo dda ne guno omulimu tubadde tulina okuba nga tubikola tubadde tulina okuba nga tubaweereza omulungi atulabako Geto TV webale kubeerako akaseera kano gwena ndabako Geto TV webale kubeerako olina ekyambadde musomesa kawenza aliko kamera kati olwaliro okubanga nkuweereza ali ku Geto TV ekyo kyebayita omwagalo wabanje ogwo bayita omukwano wano wayiswa yakoze ku byokunywa wali akoze ku byokulya waliwo dawo kati tuvaawo bwekyembeera bweri waliwo wano waliwo Alex Waiso Mufumbiro ate bwe tuddako wali ne waliwo Honorable Zake wali President naddako wali Secretary General naddako wali Nambasa naddako bwetyo embeera bweri wali Musiri David naddako wekitoogo kye
ebintu byetulimu ebyaddala sometimes tujokengamu naye ebyaddala betutukolemu abakyali baffe bangi nnyo ne bafanga tubalaba bwe so zino ensonga zaggwanga baganda bange embeera osekatemba sikuzannyamu zino ensonga zakujjako diketeeta kubwana ne diketeeta so omuntu yenna ayagire okusapotinga ensonga gyetuliko banange okutuusamu ekitiibwa abula amuwesimamusajja abaagala tekalina nnyo n'omutima gwako guli lofeeti so tulina n'abantu abatubeerawo banaye mu bulamu bwaffe okuba bantu tubeerawo nga tuli basanyufu no tusobola okuvayo ne batagasa bali mu mbeera bwete samasabiriza bantu abatubeererawo bebazaako nga bakyatwalamu era mukkirize banange era ne baza omukyala bamuyita Emma abasinga omumenyi Stella banaye omuntu ayimirirawo nagamba nzisema mu buli embeera ngenda kubeera banaye abantu abo beetaaga kusima nga bakyali balamu so mwebaza mwebaza kamufe so baganda bange ensonga zetulimu zakufana kuwona zakutwala bulamu nate netuba tufunewo aibirivu nebala bajja kujja balala bajja kujja omubanja ekintu kino kirina okuguga alala bajja kujja okulaba nti ensonga eno tulina okimaliriza kubanga eno ensonga ya ggwanga nkiddamu eno ensonga ya ggwanga so kyekyo baganda bange mwenna bekumenya ku mwoto wadala kisomo tujokinga mu sometimes natenga okunsonga y'okubeera serious
mugamba president mumulaba president kwalibona alikuwa tolera kusubscribe
petoli wagwe kama kitegeeza president wa ayogera abagabula n'awayogera
mukulembeze
muliyanyiza kanyama muwota tono so ayagala okulaba ensi abantu batolanga basanyufu okitegeera kyayagala ayagala nga bantu bakulembera nga basanyufu abo abaana bamakerere osikirako amakerere so amanyi embeera eyinza ebeerawo akiyimiriddemu nsonga kintu buli kimu akyeyimiddemu era sosa n'abagabula wali kulabanga abagabula bagabula nfa agamba kati kambawe nze kangabula ennyama kanso gabula emmere wanso gabula ebyokunywa so eggwanga lyetwagala bannaye eggwanga lyetwagala buli muntu nga afeelinga proud okubeera munnauganda nga si kuvuma kubeera munnauganda natulonda omusaala gw'abaofficial ba gavumenti bamwami Museveni gwobasasula nga tumanyi mwezi asasula mwezi azimba amalwaliro ameka just omusaala naye nga bakola ki nakulete kutuula ku nanguzi tebana kibakola naye nga gusobola okutereza eggwanga abavubuka ne bafuna emirimu abeetaaga ne babifuna nibana basajja
aliko Geto TV olwaliro akutte mu kamera kyamedde emisomesa aliwo okuba nga nkuweereza
kirubulira kibagamba nti ffe tulirabanga eggwanga lino eggwanga abasajja balirabanga bizinensi yaabwe so tulina omulimu munene nnyo okulwana okulaba nti ebintu bino bikuwaawo si kyani si kya pulezidenti si kya lewesi si kya sama si kya waliswa kino ekintu buli munnauganda kimukakatako okukwatira ebintu bitereeza ate nga bisobola okutereera baganda bange bano abaana bemulaba bali mu kufuna emmere awo bali mu kusoma kubeera basomesa bali mu kusoma kubeera basawo naye bw'ogwamu akafaananyi nga ali Makerere buli mwana gyeyogomba okubeera nga ali mu kukaaba njala omwana wagenda musomesa nga mukirowoozeeko nga omwana wo aloota kubeera ku Makerere buli mwana wo aloota kubeera ku Makerere nga bali Makerere bali mu mbeera eno bwekyogamba mwana agenda Makerere bw'ava Makerere n'agenda asomese nga maze kosi y'okusomesa agenda asomesa omwana wo n'omukwano agenda musomesa oba ayagadde ayi oba tayagala bireke bano abasajja kyebali mu kulyetenga mu nsi yaffe kyebateekawo buli muntu okuba nga tafaayo so twafuna pulezidenti wo yafaayo kyo kyemubanja mwabeereremu nze mbagamba manyi muliza buli kiseera so
mbaire nti owebusogoge mamaadi mbaire ntire okusomera ide busogoge mamaadi abayina kusoda
baganda bange agabye bijanjalo oba mulina okubiga oba somo mwangazaji wali mukola
water soda sebo water soda
thank you so much abona mwana na soga
soda water
You want some beans? Thank you.
eryo lyeggwanga nga lina pulezidenti omutuufu owaddala afa ku bantu bakulembera eryo eggwanga mba mulina okulya ne munywa ne museka ne mweyagala yesatira edduka lyeyo yo negezeko emmere manyi basajja meka negezeko emmere eyo pulezidenti owaddala tafaayo kasita abantu bebanga basanyufu basooka bakulembeza.
You come for the water and soda later.
Okay,
Water.
now we present one.
Water soda.